Here in Devon, in the tranquil Tamar Valley, is a port that once bustled with industry. Overground, farmers supplied Britain's growing towns and cities with fresh produce.
Daffodils, set for London.
While underground, miners extracted copper and precious minerals.
Firing!
Now at Morwellham Quay, archaeologists Alex Langlands and Peter Ginn and historian Ruth Goodman are going back in time to the early 1900s to live the lives of Edwardian farmers for a full calendar year. They'll not just be farming, but getting to grips with the rural industries that once brought wealth to Devon.
Oh wow, we got something!
So far, the team's endeavours have laid the foundations of a working Edwardian farm.
Look at that, gorgeous.
They've brought in new livestock.
Be good to get some new blood into the flock.
Stocked up the larder in preparation for a long winter.
Looks like we might actually have something to eat this winter.
And planted high-value crops.
In he goes.
Oh, it's quite exciting, really, isn't it?
Come on, Tom.
Come on.
Walk on. Get on, boy.
Come on.
Now it's November, and if the team are to prosper as Edwardian farmers, they'll have to turn to the latest farming practices of the age.
Loud! Really loud!
Get to grips with the technologies of the time.
It's almost like a steam engine.
And use Edwardian science to set up an exciting new venture.
You're playing God without really knowing what God should be doing.
On the Edwardian farm, the time has come to plough the land. Alex and Peter want to grow oats, essential as feed for their livestock, and potatoes, a reliable source of income.
Good lad.
New technology was on the horizon, but most farmers still relied heavily on horsepower.
Walk on. Walk on.
Coming into the season where these fellas really earn their keep, because it's out to the fields, it's working in heavy clay, and this is really what the Shire was bred for. It was the heavy draft work.
Come on, Tom.
Come on.
Walk on. Get on, boy.
Come on, boy. Let's go. Come on, boys. Come on then, lads. Let's go.
Shire's Tom and Prince have never pulled a plough before.
Come to me.
Walk on.
Come on.
Ja. Whoa.
Hey, Tom.
Come on, boy.
Tom.
Steady, lads. Come on, boys.
Come on.
Lifelong ploughman Will Williams has been called in to help them on their way.
Tom. Steady, lads. And that's a nice straight line you've done.
That's
I think
marvellous.
it's more luck than anything.
You think it's more luck than judgment? I dreamed of having lines this straight so early on in the day, Will.
And how long have you been doing it?
Well, I was brought up, really, from childhood.
Right.
Oh,
How old are you now?
I'm 77.
77. Right. It's a fair old time then.
Yep. Come on,
Yeah,
boys.
boys.
Good lads.
Yeah.
Good.
The two Shires are working together well, but Will is unhappy with the plough.
Not deep enough.
Not deep enough.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, lad. That's right. It was very important to get that to cut
Yeah.
the right place.
We've noticed we've got a bit of a problem here. Whilst our sheep have been out here and eating this down, we've still got quite a lot of growth on the field, and that's not a good thing if that's showing, because all that'll do over the winter period and into the spring is that'll grow, and that'll affect whatever seed we put in here. That'll hamper the growth of that seed. So what we're doing here is we're setting the depth of this little accessory here. It's called the skimmer. And what the skimmer will do is it'll go in and it'll cut off the first 1.5 inches or so. So that'll actually cut that sort of through there, upside down, and roll it right in.
Where the cow.
Are you happy with
Yeah,
that?
we'll see how it goes, whether it's too deep or too narrow.
This is what I really like about ploughing, because we don't really recognise what an art it is.
every furrow should be like turning over a page in a book.
Right.
Should be lying exactly the same.
It's going to be straighter than anything we do.
This is it. This is what makes a farmer.
It's an art, it's a skill, it's a science, it's an industry, it's a livelihood, it's a way of life.
But it was a way of life that was rapidly changing. The days of farming with horses were numbered. In 1903, a revolutionary new piece of Edwardian technology hit the marketplace, promising to change the face of farming.
Oh my word. What have we here?
In the age that gave rise to the travelling salesman, tractor enthusiast David White hopes to convince the team to trade in their horses and join the petrol revolution.
Right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
I've come to demonstrate the new Ivel agricultural motor to your good selves.
Agricultural motor, yeah?
Furnished with a 2-cylinder engine running on petroleum motor spirit. Start and stop at will. It needs no rest, or you don't need to change, as you need to change a horse team.
So let's get this straight. The internal combustion engine has arrived on the agricultural scene with this machine, yeah?
This is the future, sir.
Today, this ex-demonstrator model is the oldest working tractor in the world.
And you've brought your ploughman along with you?
Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Williams.
Now, with a good team of horses,
Yep.
I'd say you'd plough an acre of land in 8 hours. This will plough 2 acres in 4 hours.
2 acres in 4 hours.
So it takes a quarter of the time.
Yeah, allow us to demonstrate.
Excellent.
Might be dubious as to whether they'll be able to plough.
You're dubious about it.
Oh, here we go. I think you can see with a push. Oh, it's sticking at exactly the same spot, isn't it?
What's happening is we're going this way, we're only ploughing one furrow because the plough is sliding on the bank.
Right, I
So
see.
then that way he's getting stuck over there, isn't he?
Oh, it's obviously the ploughman.
So far, it's looking like the Ivel will be a tough sell.
It's not the prettiest bit of ploughing I've ever seen. We spend all this time trying to lift the soil up to get the air into it, only then to drive machines across it. You know, these are people that have spent their lives working with horses. The fathers, the grandfathers, you know, we're going back hundreds of years working with animals who can, you know, disperse their weight. Whereas this thing, it's struggling.
Whoa, 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 something's wrong. Oh, this has come.
Did you notice how he said whoa to the tractor?
What was that?
I noticed how you said whoa to the tractor.
Quite a lot of faff, isn't it?
It's a relentless form of ploughing.
It is. It's just push. It's using power to push through.
Yeah.
And whereas the ploughman would be using his frame, his body, to react against the slope, to work with it, here Harry's doing it all by levers.
Loud. Really, really loud.
This is the change of the countryside, I suppose, from being quite a peaceful rural idyll, albeit very hard work, being quite a noisy.
Industrial sounding sort of a
Yeah.
place.
Although one thing we don't know about it is the price.
That's true, we haven't asked, have we?
Let's, before we have a heart attack over the price, let's see what it can do in the barn, because it might redeem itself somewhat.
While the men take the Ivel up to the barn, Ruth has come to commiserate with Prince.
You know those nasty, noisy tractor? Yeah, busily superseding you.
At the beginning of the 20th century, well over 1 million Shire horses still worked on farms and in industry. But just 50 years later, the Shire faced the very real threat of extinction.
So many people who remember working with horses talk about the joy going out of farming to some extent when they stopped using horses, moved over to tractors. I mean, I know the tractors are more powerful, more versatile in many ways. You can see why people moved over to them. But, gosh, something was lost in the process.
Take the strain.
In the barn, the team are keen to see if the Ivel will power an old Edwardian kibbler, a device used to grind down cereal crops into animal feed. Previously requiring horsepower to drive the machine, the tractor could save the team a huge amount of work.
That's power, Peter. That's serious power.
Precarious power.
Just gonna... That is seriously fast. We come down here, we look at that. This level of power on a farm could save an enormous amount of time. I think, really, this is where the internal combustion engine is going to come into its own.
Silence.
How was that, gentlemen?
I'm super impressed. I've never seen milled cereal come out of a machine that quickly before. And we've worked with a fair few machines, but that's brilliant, isn't it?
Sounds to me you need a Ivel agricultural motor.
It's kind of redeemed itself. I remain to be convinced on the ploughing front.
There's a couple of ticks in the plus column.
Yeah.
But the big question is,
I need a competent ploughing operative.
how much?
It's a mere £300.
£300?
So if I was buying that today, 6 years' wages.
6 years' wages.
Wow.
I'm sure we could work out easy instalments for your good selves. Sign on the dotted line, it could be yours in 40 years' time.
With such a hefty price tag, only 500 Ivels were sold worldwide.
That's quite a machine, that.
Quite a machine. He's trying to get on with some work, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that feels a mess.
For Edwardian farmers, new technology would become increasingly important to their survival. Facing stiff competition from abroad for traditional crops, British farmers had to stay one step ahead of the game. The latest scientific knowledge enabled entirely new forms of agriculture to emerge. In 1901, the Tamar Valley became home to one of the country's first fish farms.
This is the River Tamar. It is a formidable barrier that runs between Devon, where we are now, and Cornwall over there. And come the Edwardian period, the mining that happened in the hills around us, it polluted this river. It was so bad you could take a horseshoe, pop it in the water, and a few days later it was copper plated.
The pollution from mining wiped out fish stocks in the river. So the Tamar's biggest landowner, the Duke of Bedford, turned to Edwardian science to farm fish in an artificial hatchery.
His aim, to breed salmon and trout to restock the river. My aim is setting up a fish hatchery here on our farm to explore that Edwardian science, which is now a multi-million-pound industry.
First pioneered in Scotland in the late 19th century, today over a quarter of all fish consumed in the world is farmed. Peter is hoping to rear trout.